Hello everyone. I would like you to join myself and Regan here, and we're going to find out what happened in Regan's life. Here she is. Hello, Regan. Good morning. We're going to find out the
Good
history of Regan
morning.
and how she got involved in the organization and the different things that she did and what we can learn from her. So tell us your story, Regan.
Good morning. Well, for me, when I actually got into the Jehovah Witness, it was pretty much that I was raised in the truth, in the sense that my mom actually ended up giving me to my aunt that was a Jehovah Witness, and I had an interesting upbringing in that I was kind of the worldly girl that grew up with a Jehovah Witness family, and then with my family that was worldly, I was considered the Jehovah Witness sister that kind of never really got included in the holiday celebrations. And every once in a while, I did slip, but there was always that. Um, Condemnation type feeling I had when I did participate in the holidays and the festivities of my family. And I always had that fear that how is it that God could be such a good person and my family was so threatened with such, well, condemnation for being good people a lot of times. And so um but nonetheless, I ended up becoming one of Jehovah Witnesses, and I ended up even going to the Spanish congregation where the need was greater. I learned Spanish even in the congregation, um, and I got married in the Jehovah Witness um, group, and for years. I was not a very happy person at all, because I always really felt not good enough being in that um, realm of of Christianity and who's better, and um, how that life is. But at the end of the day, I ended up leaving. I ended up leaving when really, because of my destruction of my marriage. It was really that I was very unhappy there, and from leaving, and I wanted at one point to return, and then I had some other awakenings to where I had actually lost even love in God for and I and then I eventually just start studying again. I started to study the Bible, the study even hidden knowledge, the esoteric occult knowledge, just to just for knowledge, for the sake of history. And then that is actually when I had my mind awakened to a lot more, and I decided for sure, I was never going to go back to that organization. And I saw it as, actually, I saw all religion as a trap. Not that I am spiritual today, but I don't see religion as something that you have to have in order to have a true freedom. And in what I've done too is,
You
you had a
keep
question?
breaking up. How old were you when you got baptized? Hmm, I
I was
see.
17. I was 17 years old when I got baptized.
You were 17? Yeah. And how old were you when you got married?
And mhm.
It's
I
it's
was 21 when I got married.
okay, and it's your internet's breaking up here and there. I can't hear you a lot. What sort of things did you do in the organization?
Um,
Hmm.
I pretty much was just a regular. I don't know. It's been so long that I can't even remember what we were called. Publishers. I was a regular, just publisher. And I was actually kind of rebellious at times too, because I was not into turning in my time. I wasn't. I didn't I didn't keep track of it because I felt like I was a Jehovah Witness 24/7, and I really didn't think that there was any reason for them to be intrusive. So I always had a little bit of a rebellious streak to me, because I would I would actually turn in my time as like 1 hour, 1 magazine, and 1 study, and I would never even tell them anything, because it was just I felt it was intrusive. And I remember even being blamed for my husband not being named a servant, because and he would always blame it on me because I was not humble enough. That's what they would tell me. I wasn't humble enough because I didn't want to take direction. I didn't want to really follow the rules. Um, so and
So
that was a bit.
so
I was
what
I was always kind of a troublemaker in a way.
kind well, you know, the religion was so controlling. We were taught to behave and act in a certain way that, a lot of us went against the rules. So that's all good. That's all okay. And so what kind of things have you done since you left?
Um, well, since I left, actually, my leaving wasn't all that glorious. When I first left, I actually went through a period of like a PTSD. I had
Mm.
like this panic. I had I felt like the world was going to close down on me. I was like in fear. I was in a lot of fear for a while, and I lived in Southern California at the time, and right now I'm over here in Oklahoma, and but over there I turned into somewhat of a prepper. I got antsy and all that, but then I realized I actually just started studying. I started to engulf myself in meeting new people, joining groups, study groups, and not just necessarily groups about religion at all. It was business groups, um, you know, health groups, just lots of different groups, and getting involved. And then I just started to create a brand new community of friends, because after leaving the group, I mean, I was in the Jehovah Witness since pretty much all my life. I mean, even though I got baptized at 17, I left when I was already 36. And all my life and all my friends and in the outside world, I was kind of the awkward person too, because I was really good at making myself invisible and not really making a lot of friends in the world. And you only have your own cliques within the congregation, so I was like an awkward person to make friends with. But now I've come a long way to now I see things as everyone is here for good on the planet, and I see the good in people, and I see that we have so much more power than we ever thought. Um, and today I'm over here in Oklahoma. I'm helping people set up gardens, and just doing things a little bit more differently than what I was before. I mean, I even left the corporate world because I did even work for um, Sempra Energy for Southern California Gas Company. I was in a customer service, environment for a while, but I even left that, and I started all brand new. Now I'm working as pretty much for myself as an entrepreneur.
It's great to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm a businesswoman myself. So, what kind of things did you find out about yourself? Um,
Um, about myself is that actually we're all here to be gifts in the world. I think that's been my biggest awakening in this world today is that we're all individual blessings, and and for me, I know that my blessing to the world is that um, I see I see us as being healthy individuals. I see us, and I actually even see us as well. I say my individual gift, I'll say, is that I how I'm most known in this world is really through my cooking, and my cooking is actually healthful, and that's just how I bring joy into my life and into others, and being of service to others. And um, I don't know. I think it's just being. I don't know. It's just our individual gifts. I don't think there's not much more that we can do in this world than being our sovereign selves, and and being that control of ourselves and of our thoughts. I think that's the most important thing that I have has come out from me being raised a Jehovah Witness, is that even today in this world, it's being closed down and shut down even by a lot of manipulative of well, control government. I mean, it's being ran by it's an oligarchical system, and you can see it. Um, and I think that what I have discovered is the sovereignty to have control of my mind and to not allow outside influences to instill fear in me anymore. I actually don't have that same fear anymore. I do live, actually, I even like to say today that I live enthusiastically, and that's with filled with divine spirit inside. I mean, we're all spirit beings having a physical manifestation here, and what we're doing here on this world, that's our power. That is what we're effective by what we're doing. And and
can
even
you,
like
can you
my
mention,
show and stuff that I'm presenting today.
so what's your favorite dish to cook?
Oh, my favorite dishes to cook. Um, I like, I do like soups. I have to say soups and then salads. I do plenty of salads, and I make salads the most spectacular tasting things as well,
You're
because
making me
I
hungry.
have a way of combining sweet and savory. Yeah.
You're
Um,
making me hungry. Oh, so you've overcome a lot in your life, and you have moved on and you've made a lot of changes in your life, like a lot of us have, and you have come into your authentic self, as we say. So,
Yeah,
what do you
I
have?
think it's finding yourself.
What kind of
I didn't hear
plans
your
do you have for
question.
the future? What kind of goals do you have? What kind of
Oh,
plans do you have for the future?
oh, right now I have so many things coming up because I'm working with some angel investors, and they're helping me set up a. It's actually going to be. It's actually going to be. Um, it is going to be a show where I'm going to be teaching from seed to plate, um, cultivation of plants, as well as the cooking, the culinary part of it for teaching nutrition. And I'm working on getting that together. But it's also with the objective of, you know, teach a man to plant, you feed him for life. And and the organization as well is going to be working with training um, homeless homeless
Oh,
what is it, well, the homeless adolescents, especially the ones coming out of foster care,
mm,
because really here in the United States there's nothing to catch them. As soon as they become 18 they become homeless, and that just breaks my heart. And so I'm putting together an organization to where we're going to actually organize to get them into working and housing situations. I'm working with another organization as well that's doing the same thing. So I'm doing a lot of joint venturing with other organizations. So I'm connecting communities in a way. I'm kind of like
you don't
today
like
to where
networking.
I'm connecting organizations. Yes, it's a lot of networking, but
Networking. Yeah,
this world is changing. It's
it's
changing,
so
and
nice
it's either
that
accept
you're
what we
giving
cannot
from your
change
heart to
and
the
change
homeless.
what we need to.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I'm holding my
I'm
phone
working
here.
on,
Oh, what would you say you're working on? I know you
yes,
have a great smile. I love your smile.
uh, well, thank you. Thank you. Um, well, yeah, I'm working on all these wonderful projects and bringing them to fruition, and just really helping people to even pay attention to the way we're speaking to ourselves. I think that part of one of the Jehovah, well, for me, I used to be a negative Nelly. I was so negative before, and today I am I'm more on passionate about just bringing goodness to this world, and I'm no longer living into my suffering, um, and just focus on what I'm bringing to this world today. Mm.
And so you have put the past behind you and moved forward. And that's what we can learn from you. Yeah. Well, it's been great talking to
Yeah,
you,
and and
Regan.
I love. It's been great talking to you as well. I was going. One thing that I will mention is that one thing that really did hurt me for a long time was being shunned. Being shunned by
Yeah.
my family did hurt me quite a bit. However, I I actually now today I see it as their great love for me, and their great love that, and it's just their own misunderstanding of what it
Mhm.
should, how love is shown. And so I actually see it as their grand love to me, and I don't see it in a negative way. That's how I
That's good
see
that you
that.
can see it that way.
Um,
Yeah, they're just they're like programmed. They're just doing their thing. Like when we were in the organization, that's what we did, right? We didn't know any better at the time. So they're just, all programmed to do that. So yeah, if you can see it in that way, that from their viewpoint, that they think that they're doing this out of love. Like my sister-in-law and nephews are still in, but when I think of them, I think of them as love, and I always wish them the best and I think of them with much love, and I stay hopeful because you never know when someone might leave.
oh, most definitely. And it's most definitely, I see all my family within the Jehovah Witness as even exceptionally blessed, because at one point they will have an opportunity to see their own individual purpose, because um, every the truth is there. And one of the things that it's just, there's truth within everything. There is. And when we find ourselves truly centered, truly in alignment to what we want to do in our life and how we are seen in this world, truly centered, well mannered, in love, vibrant, and healthy, then they're going to say, why am I so afraid of walking away from an organization that is really even controlling them? And it's finding um, our self voice, and not being controlled by someone else's opinion, and understanding that opinions are just that, and they're it's just a thought of someone else's. And but truly, I find myself being in. Actually, I'm also writing some children's books. In my children's books, they're a small little series. They are that doves speak Spanish, and they are centered on speaking in, coming from the spirit, coming from spirit. We are centered in love and joy and kindness and forgiveness and self-control. And when people are going to see that, they're also going to want to mimic that, and see that um, healthy center. It's just for children. I don't know if you ever paid attention to a dove, and they say "Corúcate aquí, corúcate aquí." Well, in Spanish, that means "come cuddle with me," and um, and that's basically how I've found my center, is finding my center in the fact that I am spirit. I am that divine spirit that lives within me. And if you want to call it the Christ spirit or not, that's okay. And but to me, that is allowing God to come into my life. That's the divine. And we are all the divine. And for us to be living, well, just in our true purpose, in that enthusiastic way, and I'm actually getting in my head right now. What would what would I suggest for you to focus on your passion? um I would say to finding, actually, when the answer is love, when love is your motivation and care is your motivation, and that's finding your passion. When you actually, I even feel that sometimes we get in anxiety when we're not living our passion, when we're not living that effectiveness into our lives. And I think that, one thing that I did give up is I have given up gossiping. And it feels so freeing. When you do give up gossiping, it's it's being able to see the light in every single person that you look at. And even when I think of all my Jehovah Witness friends, that I don't remember any of their flaws. I don't ever try to remember any of their flaws, any of their mistakes, or even mine. And even if I have what all my mistakes, I just like, okay, learn from that, move on, and just um, focus on even the now, the present, today. Um, and I even like to say that I'm here today to increase the competition in each other, because I want everybody to be better, better and better and better, but the better you. And then the more we increase that competition, then we actually raise our vibration. We raise that harmony with one another. And actually, I even like to point out the word um, Catholic. The word Catholic really means universal. And universe, one verse. We are here to come together in harmony, and and because even the very word Satan even means it's divided. It's a divided spirit. And I'm no longer in that divided spirit. I'm in that spirit of harmony with one another. I'm here to be good with one another, to be aligned with you in love. I mean, and what is it to truly even love myself and to love my neighbor as myself? That those have been my principles that I have actually added into my life, and truly choosing to stay happy today. Happy today because I am living in the now. I have to be, and I just keep on finding myself in front of the most beautiful people and the most caring people. And literally, um, and even my mentality of people have changed. Like, who has um, been influential in my life has changed. Um, like, even today, I find myself with persons that are also influential in this world, that are working to make this place a better place. Um, Look at even Shane and Patty here today. I'm being introduced to, and we're part of a worldwide community that is looking to come together and find that unity. And it looks like Patty did fall off on the call.
But I'm here.
Um, Hi, Shane.
I don't know where Patty's gone. When she comes back on, I'll hop off the screen. So, can I ask you just
Okay.
briefly, some of the passions that you have got, where did they come from?
Well, I'll have to say my passion for I just have a passion for people. I have a natural love for people. I will have to say, even when I was a Jehovah Witness, I was sincere and I was sincerely wrong
Yeah.
too. And and my passion too just really comes from wanting to be of service to persons. I truly want to be happy. And
Mm.
that's just who I am naturally. I am just naturally happy, and I have I have actually two gorgeous daughters and um, two gorgeous grandchildren, and I want them to see them to be part of a world that's actually free. And I see this world actually getting shut down by a lot of crazy manipulations. And I think that that is actually causing me to step up and be a little bit more vocal and
Mm.
to be more public because I see that need, especially because so many people are. Even myself, I used to be because I was even given away as a child. I used to have a very um, I was a very sad person. I was kind of even suicidal for many years, but
Mm.
that's not even me anymore. So it's hard for me to talk about it anymore because it's
Okay.
interesting because I don't have that compelling story. I don't even want to talk about it.
No, that's fine. Tell me about your grandchildren.
Well, I have a 5-month-old grandson, and I have a 4-year-old granddaughter, and they're just spectacular. I just barely met my grandson just this past September. I went to California for a couple of weeks, and it was beautiful. I miss them. I want them to come and live next to me, but I'll have to get them to come over here to Oklahoma where where it's a little bit more calm. And just California right now, it's too expensive right now. Or maybe I need to earn more money and so I can get there. Um, And you mentioned that you're an anxious person, and how do I focus on becoming calm? Well, I focus on becoming calm in that I I actually know today all is well. I focus on knowing all is well, and Stella, I do invite you to even personal direct message me. Anyone here, they're welcome to, and I can talk with them on a personal basis as well. We can connect. Um, but for the most part, for anxiety, I think that I've come to a point to where I've understand even I'm in control of my feelings in the sense that I am I am in God's love, and I'm in and so are you. And everything is just temporarily, and and we have control of this world, and really we have the ability to accomplish um, what we set out to do, and it's all for the taking. I think that's and for the anxiety, I just turn my anxiety into excitement too. I Because the body doesn't really know the difference between stress or if you excite yourself being happy. So I actually say, oh, I'm not scared anymore. I'm excited. I say, okay, I'm excited to do this. And then I will just overcome the anxiety. And then before you know it, um, you know, whatever you're doing kind of just becomes second nature.
Where do your grandchildren live? They live in Southern California? It's a little
Um,
down here.
I grew up in Southern California, um, in Redlands, California, San Bernardino County. I
Mhm.
was there for a good 40, 40 years or 36 years, excuse me. Um,
Is, so is that where your grandchildren are now?
yeah, they are in California. They
That's yeah.
they're they're with their mamas, with my daughters and and their papas.
Uh,
So they're thank goodness my children are not Jehovah Witnesses. And
yeah.
what helped me go from a negative to positive was um, I actually I did take a lot of self-healing courses. And one of these self-healing courses that I did take, it was through a program called Landmark. And they introduced me to the word blessing and mercy. And then I also even practiced even like the Ho'oponopono prayer from the Hawaiian prayer. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I know Joe
Mm.
Vitale talks about it as well. Um, and it's a prayer that actually I learned it in sign language as well, because it's thank you, you're welcome, please forgive me, I'm sorry, and I love you. And what you're really saying is you're saying sorry and you're apologizing kind of to yourself, to your temple body, that you didn't realize that you hold the divine within you and that you yourself are the power of the divine. And then when you do that, it is centering. It centers your body, allows you to connect with one another. And the other thing is that I've embraced even forgiveness. In embracing forgiveness, I have allowed myself freedom. I've allowed myself freedom to step into true joy and step into true love and step into that true happiness. And I find, and that's where I live. I live there. And yes, I get upset. And yes, I even have my righteous anger too. I even dress in different outfits to display my emotions. I wear a green dress for my Hulk righteous anger. But I say that I get rid of anger by my love and peacefulness, because I destroy my enemies by making them my friends. And even um, like I'm even waiting for all of my XJW families that are shunning me. I'm waiting for them with open arms when they awaken to the fact that I'm not a threat to them and that I am them and I am love with them. And I'll be happy when they're here to celebrate with me. And and the other thing, I see a world of language as well. I see language is extraordinarily powerful. And I also say that I'm amazing. I'm amazing in the sense that I'm from out of this world and from out of this world. I'm a spirit being living in this physical world, and 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 yes, we're here to experience all the feelings, and yes, forgiveness to persons that have harmed me and the persons that I have personally harmed, and even through my actions unknowingly. Um, I know in the past I've shunned persons when they were disfellowshipped, and even I myself, I was disfellowshipped at one point, and it was the most horrible feeling in the world. But I don't feel that anymore, and um, and so I just actually see the forgiveness for me is that true freedom of, um, not necessarily even if the person themselves weren't sorry for what they did, that's kind of on them. I actually feel that they probably are not happy with what they did. They themselves are in discord. They themselves are in that state of, if you want to say, shatan, that not being in that centered love of where in the alignment of who we truly are. Because I do feel that when we're in alignment with love and in alignment with the light, um, we're going to do what's right. We're going to shine. We're going to be that magnetic person that everybody wants to be around. And because I can see people past what their past history could have been. And I don't want to be remembered by the one stupid thing that I did. I want to be remembered by who I am today. And a lot of times, even I love even Maya Angelou's quote, um, is that people will never remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. And I always want to make sure that I am that person that makes everybody feel happy. They're happy to be around me, and they want to continue living, and they want to be that joy in this world. They want to be even the lovely change in this world, um, because and be unapologetic to even speak the truth, um, because even me, I do speak truth quite often, to where I even call myself the controversial woman, because the very word controversial means to face change. I mean, everybody wants something different in life, but are we ready to change? And that's being that humble person to say, oh, I need to change something here. And um and I've been changing myself in the sense that I have even been, I'm not afraid of learning, and even learning the occult um, information. And even the very word occult just means hidden. And finding, just, I'm learning how people have connected to God, they themselves, by learning other person's cultures. Like I've studied the tarot, I've studied the Kabbalah, I've studied um, the Buddhism, I've studied um, different religions, but with the idea of learning how people have connected to God and how they get to know God Himself, because most definitely there is an awesome creator above me and above this planet. I didn't come from nothing, or did I? um, but I guess we came from the words being manifested into this beautiful dimension of this metaphysical world. And I see that we are extraordinary beings and powerful. And and it's lovely no longer being part of an organization that is controlling my thoughts. Um, and let's see here. What is another thing that has? Oh, I'm actually even part of another group. It is somewhat new agey. However, it's just a wonderful group of people. It's a wonderful, I like to even call it a little clean fish tank of persons that allow you to be yourself, and just be a powerful being in this world. And um, and how do I feel about being with unbelievers? I love everyone. I love everyone. Um, and I do understand that there's a difference between beliefs and even what is truth and what is, because religion are based on beliefs. Law and what is based on what is present in our creation. I even I like to say, like, God, or the divine, or nature, however you want to say it, because there's some divine outside power beyond us that's out there, um, is that creator of the law. And man himself, we have an inability to write law. And if we write law, it is only redundant to what law is, or it's in contradiction to what law is. And that's why we have so many different governments from one place to another with all these imaginary boundaries and countries, is because we have man attempting to write law when they don't have any of that authority to do so. And I see myself as a very free person, as a sovereign being, and even much of an anarchist. Even the very word anarchy means to be without a ruler, but not to be without rules, because rules are the dynamic law of nature, in which none of us can actually even change. What suggestions would I give for Jehovah's Witnesses to want to leave the organization? I would say that you are actually even free to go at any time. I never wrote a letter of disassociation, because they have no authority over me, and I didn't feel like I owed them any explanation. I did not give them any power to disfellowship me or to do anything. They probably announced that I'm probably an apostate within the congregation, but it doesn't faze me. The title doesn't faze me anymore. I say move. I say even listen to your heart and do what's going to motivate you to feel happy. do what's going to make you to feel happy, but also doing the right thing and being beautiful, loving yourself with all your heart too, and all your mind and strength, and um, being just that awesome blessing to all the persons around you, and truly um, just don't feel like you have to answer to anyone, and just be the joy. Even when they call you, you say hello and be in love, and don't have to answer any of their questions, and just say, I'm that doesn't concern you. I mind your own business. I don't know. That's how I'm people are on a need to know basis, and what you don't need to know, you don't need to know, and that's my mentality of the Jehovah Witness. They just don't give them space to get involved into your life to where they're controlling you, and just be grateful and gracious and loving. That's how I would use their magic back onto them, or their miraculous powers, however you want to call it, magic or power. um, love them back, and um, and I just accept their love every time they call me, and accept it as them loving me, and that's where I find my joy. And let's see here. um and even being comfortable even in the silence sometimes. Okay, I got a little chuckle coming out of me because I know now the silence could just went a bit too long, huh? um, I think we lost. You're muted, Shane, and then Patty isn't
That might be a bit better.
there.
Your passion, your smile, your bright face, all evidence that you've moved on. Is that the true person we're looking at is you?
This is me. I am really happy, and even in my children, they are they love me as their mom, because even the other day, I'll even tell you what happened. We were driving, and my son-in-law, he starts, I don't know, I guess she got a little scared of the way he was driving, and I'm like, honey, we're driving in God's celestial chariot, because I truly don't live in fear, because I don't. Mm.
Well, I want to say thank you for being here, telling
You're
us your
welcome,
story,
Stella.
your journey, and where you're going to from here. What's one goal that you would like to reach in the next year?
Oh, my goal is to have one of the world's largest biodynamic gardening services worldwide. That is what I'm setting up to do, because actually back in 1945, 55% of the US population had home gardens. Today, there's less than 1%. And
Yeah.
so that's what I'm going to help people do. I'm going to help them set up gardens, and even throughout the world. That's what I want to see. I want to see people beautify this planet and take
Well,
control.
that's very nice. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate your time. For those who have been watching, even though we might have some technical difficulties, we're glad you're here. And Regan, thank you once again. So for those who are watching now, thank you. For those who watch later, thank you. Any comments, please put them down. And if people want to reach out to Regan, what's the best way to get hold of you?
Well, for right now, I just have my Facebook page. It's the just Regan Monhe.
Oh, that's good. Well, thank you once
In
again.
the future, I should be getting.
Yep.
Thank you.
In the future, did you say?
You're very welcome. You know, I lost it, but we'll connect in the future once again.
All righty. Well, thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of your day. It must be coming up to afternoon there for you.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Alrighty. Until next time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks, Regan. Catch you later.
You. All right. Bye-bye.